Hi, this is Dalton with GeoMarvel, and welcome back to part 2 of our Survey123 Connect video series. Today's video will build upon our last video and continue building out our survey form with the addition of choice lists, media files, and equations. Let's get started. So first, let's take a look at the survey as it exists now. We've got our standard inputs that we built in our last video with the location, date and time information, the text input, and integer inputs for these comments, length of sighting, and shape of UFO. Now let's take a look at the Excel form, and we're going to go ahead and make our first update for the shape of UFO input type. So rather than text, let's take a look at our question types, and we're going to use the select multiple option. Now, this select multiple goes along with a list name. So what we're going to do is replace this input type to be select multiple instead of text. And this is going to be looking for a list name. So we're going to go to our choices tab and go ahead and clear out these default lists options. And now we're going to input our own list name. In this case, we're going to use shape as our list name. And now we'll need to populate the name for each option within this list. And then we're going to also give it a label. Let's go ahead and clear this formatting. And next step here is column D. So this media image column. This is how the media files will be brought into the survey. So bringing up the Survey Connect interface here, clicking Files, we can now take a look at our media files within the media folder. And this is where we're going to drop our images that are to be used. So you see I dropped in my images that are already pre-configured, and you can see how they look from this view. And these are all PNG format images. So back in our form, we're going to now place the actual file names in this column for each respective selection type. And an important note here is to use the file extension in this name. So the actual .png is going to be important here so that the survey understands the file type and can bring it into the survey form. So our list name is shape. So jumping back to our first tab, we're going to do select multiple space and then the list name in question, in this case shape. So now let's go ahead and download our latest survey. And let's do a quick replace of our Excel form. So I'll drag it in, give it the same name, and then we'll click back to Survey123 Connect, which will automatically update based on the new survey format. And now here you can see the survey understands what our files are. It's looking in that media folder and finding these PNG files that we've pre-configured, and we have that select multiple option input here and ready to go. But let's say this view is not quite adequate for what we want. We want a more compact view. We can go ahead and edit our survey Excel sheet and make those changes. And back to our survey form, on row 4, we can edit the appearance of this particular question. So looking at our appearances, let's go for compact. You see this applies to select one, select multiple, and repeat groups. So let's go ahead and use the compact appearance for this question type. And then let's re-download and update our survey and take a look at what that looks like. So jumping into Survey123 Connect interface again, here we can see the updated view. So a little more compact, a little more user-friendly, doesn't take up quite so much real estate. So now let's go ahead and add a new row in here underneath our duration in seconds, and let's go ahead and build in an equation here. So let's go ahead and automatically calculate duration in minutes. So we will name this length of sighting in minutes. And we're going to make this question type a note. So essentially it's an equation that's happening behind the scenes, and this note question type will take no input, but it will still enable the output to be visible in the survey interface. So now on this row, we'll scroll to the right, and in this column calculation, let's go ahead and add our calculation. So we'll follow the standard equation building methods outlined in the link below. And we're going to go ahead and put our field name in here because we're calculating on duration in seconds. And we want to divide that by 60 to determine how many minutes. And simple as that, let's go ahead and download our latest survey and update it. Now once this updates, we can start to play with our inputs and see what the calculations determine for us. So we have length of sighting in seconds, let's put 600, and you can see that note right there calculates real time and gives us the output in minutes. For good measure, now let's go ahead and add one more note field for a second equation. We'll do duration in milliseconds, and this will be length of sighting in milliseconds. And our equation will be very similar to the equation above. We will just do this multiplied by 1000. And let's download and update our survey. And testing this out, let's go ahead and put some duration in seconds, and you can see immediately it's calculating the duration in minutes and in milliseconds. Now let's go ahead and add a brand new field and call this distance from UFO, and we will put this in miles. And our input type here will just be a simple integer. And we know that's going to be a straightforward input, so let's go ahead and add another equation here. And we will auto-calculate the distance from UFO in kilometers based on the input that the user chooses in miles. So with that, we'll go ahead and add another equation. So we will be referencing our distance from UFO in miles field, and then making the appropriate calculation to convert that into kilometers. And refreshing the interface. Let's make sure our equation is working as expected. So we still have our length of sighting in seconds converting to minutes and milliseconds, and our distance in miles quickly converting into kilometers. Now let's add another field and build a brand new choice list into this option. So we're going to name this field clarity of sighting. How clear was the visual of the UFO that was spotted? And in this case, let's do a select one instead of a select multiple, because we want our end users to only choose one option. And let's call this list name clarity, and we've got our name column defining each option within this list, and then our label column to give the end user very easy, legible choices. So we'll add our list name after the select one statement. And before we download, let's go ahead and assign the compact appearance to make this an easy interface for the user. And then we'll download and update our survey here. And now we can see the clarity of UFO sighting with our 5 options available here for input. And now let's add another row here for an additional question. We'll do another select one because we're going to build another list here, and let's go ahead and call this one UFO sounds with a question titled, what did the UFO sound like? And with this, we're going to build another list. So we will populate this list name with the title of audio. And we will populate our 4 list options for both the name and the label. And now instead of populating in column D, which says media image, we're going to use column E, which is media audio. So back in our survey media folder, here is where we're going to drop our audio files. And now viewing our file types, you can see we still have our PNG files, and we also have now our 4 different MP3 formatted files. So within our survey Excel form, we're going to paste those file names with extension. So the extension of MP3 will be how the Excel form and Survey123 knows how to read that file. And now we'll add our list name after the select one option. So select one from the audio list. And let's go ahead and download and update our survey. And now looking at the updated survey form, you can see our audio files with the clickable icons on the right side to preview what that audio sounds like. And now that we've updated our survey with all of our desired fields and field types, let's go ahead and publish this survey and update our feature layer. So it tells us it's already been published and asks us if we want to add these 6 fields, and we'll go ahead and add those. Check out our options quick. We are okay with those, so let's go ahead and publish up our updated survey. So in today's video, we continued building out this survey and highlighted how to use the choice list functionality to provide a set of available inputs for a question. We outlined how to incorporate calculation equations into surveys. And finally, we walked through the process of adding both image and audio files to the survey to enhance the end user experience. I hope you found part 2 of this video series to be helpful and informative. And if you enjoyed this video, feel free to like and subscribe to keep up to date with all of our upcoming GeoMarvel Live videos. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch you next time.